Hello and welcome. Welcome to the first of 4 videos that I will be shooting and taking you through what fitness looks like to me. So, when you look up fitness in the dictionary, it means the condition of being healthy. Then there's another meaning down there that means being equipped to fulfill a certain objective or task. And what I will take is a second meaning in terms of fitness is a requirement in order to take us through life. Life is the task, life is the objective, living is the objective. And what can you do in order to live better? It is to become your optimal self. Our bodies are a huge percent of us. Our bodies make up what? 75% of the energy we use. The brain usually uses 25% of the energy. So we do a lot in terms of bringing back to our body. But when what we are doing is not necessarily serving us, that's where we're going wrong. Because in our day and age, we find that a lot of the activities we're engaging in find us in very sedimentary ways of living, where we are sitting or just stagnant in over long durations of time, which has led to the cropping up of a lot of lifestyle diseases such as high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, and yes, it's all good that we have all of these advancements and all of these things that help us get what we want easily, but at what cost? We have relegated movement and action to the side, whereas it is part of us as human beings. We were not built to be stagnant. If you look at history from the times that if you look at evolution, from the time that people were migrating long distances, hunting and gathering, and then there's looking for land and pastures, conquests, people have always been in a state of motion. Our thoughts are always moving, our thoughts are always running. So why shouldn't we run? Someone once said that. And the point is not to run. The point is to incorporate movement in your day to day so that you can be at an optimum level to get the most out of yourself and live a life that is on a higher scale than you would have if you didn't incorporate these movements into our day to day. Fitness, when people hear fitness, they always think about the gym. But fitness is not about gymming only. Gymming is only a small percentage of fitness. Fitness, as I said, is movement, it is action. And it has a lot to do with it. So with fitness, there are very many ways you can get fit. There's the physical aspect, there's the nutritional aspect, and there's the mental aspect that comes with it. So with the physical aspect, we see that a lot of us think of gymming when we think about fitness, but there's so many exercises. There's aerobics exercises, there's running, there's dancing. People neglect dancing, but it's a really good way of moving. There is HIIT exercises, high intensity interval training exercises, and also the reverse of that. There is also basic things and small movements that we do all around our houses, our jobs, our what? Anything that you do, as long as you're doing it actively and intentionally, becomes exercise. Let's say walking up the stairs. When you're walking up the stairs and you're doing it intentionally, and your mind is on the muscles that are being targeted, you're actually working out. It's just that simple. Like, just to mention those but a few, this is just to show you that what you think about in terms of physicality or fitness is really limited, and you need to expand your horizon. Then there's the nutritional side. The nutritional side, here we get that fitness is just, when it comes to fitness, people think that fitness is just movement, physical. No. Actually, how you look and how you appear is 90% what you eat and 10% exercise. In terms of eating, it's what you put inside of yourself. And what you put inside of yourself is not only food, but also what you impact here. That's why I said there's also the mental aspect of it. But first, let's tackle this, the nutritional side of it. From my journey, from my fitness journey, which began, let's say, in 2017, I wasn't the most fit actually. I liked moving when I was a child, but then in between, advancements came, phones, movies, series, and all that. So I became a very sedimentary type of animal, and that led me to becoming very unfit. I didn't like how I looked. So I didn't like how I looked. I wasn't able to put on the clothes I wanted to wear, and that kind of like put me down a lot. So what I decided was, after my high school, was what can I do now to look and get what I want? And I started immediately. I started with home workouts of this guy called Shaun T. So this guy called Shaun T was a really big part of my fitness journey. He has inspired me to date. His videos are so relevant, so impactful, not only in helping you work out, but also in terms of like what he's putting in here. Like when you're working out, he's talking to you. You get, he's working out with you, but he's talking to you. It's a workout video of a group of people being taken through a workout, an intense workout. And these workouts were mostly HIIT exercises, the ones I told you about, high intensity interval exercises. And they involved 45 minutes to 1 minute of intense workout, and then 30 to 15 to 30 seconds of low level exercises. It's like what it's doing, it's raising your heart rate and lowering it, raising and lowering it, raising and lowering it. What this creates is an afterburn effect. Whereas, let's say you're working out and you're burning, let's say, the excess body fat in your body. What these HIIT exercises were able to do they were able to burn while you're working out, but also after you've worked out. That rising and lowering of your heart rate, it like continues on, and that happens for the next 48 hours. That's the afterburn now. And that's why I subscribed to that at first. And I did that for like 6 months. And then after that, I did gym. I tried gym for like 3 months in 2018. And then I tried another 3 months in 2019. And in between, I was doing one workouts of the home workouts. And the benefit about working out, even if you come and stop later, is that your progress is never linear. As is with everything else, progress is not linear. Let's say your progress, you have improved as a person in something. Your progress is not linear in the sense, if you stop here, it goes down. No, if you stop here, it's not like this. Progress can look like this. Yani, progress is different for everyone. But in terms of fitness, what I found was that even if I stopped, the benefits were still there. For example, my core, I hardened my core while I was doing these home workouts, and I've never lost that. Even when I was not working out as much. I was doing other things. I was not that active in terms of my fitness. The benefits were still there. And when I decided to get back into the workouts, it was way easier. It's actually proven that muscle has memory. There's something called muscle memory. So when you do a task and then when you get back into it, let's say even if it's been a while, your muscles, your body remembers. There's a book called The Body Keeps Score. The body keeps the score. It mostly focuses on matters, let's say like a traumatic event that happened to you or something like that, and the body remembers. The body, the mind, and all that. The same with such events. It can also do the same can happen with fitness. When you decide to train, it happens likewise the same. So basically, there's that aspect of me going through that journey. And when I was going through that journey, I found out that there are various ways in which we can eat and what we eat and how this all affects our bodies. The problem, which has come to my understanding, is that we eat all the time. And by all the time, I don't mean that we are constantly eating like that. I mean, we eat and we don't give the food we are eating enough time to be digested and for us to reap those benefits. The body takes about 4 hours to digest food. And after the 4 hours, it requires an extra, let's say, 4 hours in order for the nutrients to be distributed. I might be wrong on the figures, but I stand to be corrected. But basically, what I mean we eat by what we eat all the time is that we eat, let's say, at 7 p.m., then at 12 p.m., then at what? At 6 p.m., then another time at 10 p.m. You see, like, and then by the time we're sleeping, we wake up, it's only been 8 hours. The problem with eating like that is that, for me personally, I didn't get to reap what I was eating from. And mind you, at that time I was eating like that, I was very stagnant. So this is a person who is not moving, and this is a person who is intaking all of this food into themselves. If food is not used, you're eating all this food and you're not using it, what happens is the body turns it into fat for storage, for like reserve. So that is a byproduct of you not being active. So what I found was there are various types of diets you can incorporate. There are various types of eating styles, but I've tried several. I've tried ketogenics. Ketogenics. Is it ketogenics? Oh yeah. Ketogenics. Yeah, there's ketogenics, and there is which other one? There's intermittent fasting. Those two I've tried, and what else have I tried? The others I don't think have names. Or I forgot the names. But basically, what I did was I tried different things to see what would work for me. So with ketogenics, the main thing was that, let's just call it ketosis, because that's a state. It's the state in which your body gets into. Ketosis is a state in which if you eat more of fats, the body starts burning more fat to produce energy instead of burning the carbohydrates to produce energy. So it inadvertently burns off the excess fat in your body. So that included adding avocados, like healthy fats into your diet. By healthy fats, I mean things like avocados, nuts, all the forms of nuts. What else? Which other oils? Those are the ones I mostly interacted with, and maybe meat fats. Those are the ones I took in. So with that kind of, I tried that, and that kind of, the diet was including more of fats and less of carbohydrates. And then with intermittent fasting looked like you eat for a particular period, whereas let's say you start your first meal at 7 p.m. and then your second meal, or you start your first meal at 7 a.m. Sorry, your first meal at 7 a.m. Your last meal maybe should be up 6 a.m. 6 p.m. 7 p.m. So if you eat between that period, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. excuse me, if you eat between that period, and you're not limited on what you want to eat or like how much you want to eat, but if you eat between that period, then when 7 p.m. strikes, you stop eating, you just ingest, let's say you just drink water. What that does is your body has been taking in food. So the period that you have eaten, that is the eating window, when it closes and you stop eating, now you're giving your body time to digest that food and you to be able to reap the benefits from that food. So what I did was I ended up creating a kind of like hybrid eating schedule for myself. But for me, it's not really, once I started implementing it, it became less of a hassle, less of taking score, like writing these things down, and more of I eat when I'm hungry, but I know when to pace myself. Because at first I used to just eat for the sake of eating. So when I made things intentional, eating when I'm hungry, and I made sure I'm eating good food. I used to eat a lot of junk, and I switched it out. I switched it out with like, I'm feeling craving, eat some fruits. You're feeling a craving of, let's say, what, eating some fried, all of the fried stuff. What you can do is, from my advice, from my experiences, don't cut it out completely. When you're starting out, just do this. Let's say in a month, you're setting yourself up to eating really good food, healthy and all that. Try cooking. Cooking will really help you. So when you cook for yourself, you end up creating way better, healthier dishes than you would when you're eating outside. But also, you can also find joints that are cooking good food. So yeah, like choose in a month one day where you get to like spoil yourself, literally. Eh, so you can eat that fast food once in a while. Just eat it once in a while, but make sure the majority of your diet is made up of healthy stuff that you can consume. So, what after that, what I can say is just take the time to look at these things, because I took my time. I looked at the various things that I'm doing. You know, the way you can take an analysis, a self-analysis, it's like cataloging all the stuff you're doing, and you know it's wrong. You're not supposed to be like this stagnant. You're not supposed to be eating all of these things. They're bad for you, but still you do it. One, because you may not know any better, but two, most likely it's because you either see that you trying to get better is way more of a hassle than you think. So what I would say is look at the look at the foods you're eating, look at the diets you're getting into. Before you get into anything, I would say consult. It's always good to consult. Consult a doctor, consult a coach, a fitness person, especially when you go to gyms. Some of them, they usually even make some food plans for you. But as well, you can also make one yourself, because you're the only one who knows your means, you're the only one who knows your opportunity, you're the only one who knows what you like. So you can sit down and put those things down. And while you're doing that, be very intentional in terms of why you're doing this. Intentionality, I will say, cuts across everything. When you start being intentional in terms of knowing yourself, understanding yourself, knowing why you're doing what you're doing, you get to cut out all the stuff that is not serving you. And that includes a lot of junk. And food can be junk. So basically, that is the second part of the food. So we have covered the physicality, the nutritional value, where you look into the things that you know will serve you best. You know these things will help you reap the most benefits from your body. You know eating these particular foods will help you be more energized, will give you all of this. Just take the time, because it's an investment. It's an investment in your present right now, and it's an investment in your future. Your future self will be thanking you, by the way, because one thing you can bet for sure is that where you're at now is not where you're going to be in the next 5 years to come, even the next 6 months. So you can really change a lot, but it depends on which side you change. You can either change for the better or otherwise. The choice is yours. Yeah. So basically, there's those two aspects: the physical, the nutritional, and then the mental. So with the mental, as I was saying, it's what you're feeding yourself. And with fitness, what comes into mind and what I've seen from my own experience, in order for you to actually be consistent, you have to have a good mental headspace. Because it's very hard for you to wake up in the morning and get to a workout when you're constantly bringing yourself down, telling yourself, oh, Ati, there's nothing you can do, you'll always feel shit, you'll always feel like this. If you keep on putting yourself down, there's no way you'll improve. If you let what others say about you get into your head and you keep on replaying that, then it will mess you up more than you actually taking the step to actually do something about it. Because most people fear doing something about it, and they instead choose to stay in that toxic place that they're in. It takes time, yes, but there are things you can do. You can start feeding yourself good types of content. In terms of you want to improve, look at people who have improved. What have they done? You want to get better. What is someone doing to get better? What is someone you look up to, a mentor? It's actually important to have a mentor or someone you look up to. It gives you like a goal, like a goal, like a goal to achieve. It inspires you. It inspires you. I have my mentors. Do you have yours? I have one. This guy called Pietro, and he has successfully managed to have consistent to be consistent in his workouts because it's part of his job. He's a model, and at the same time he's an engineer. Like, he has been able to do both things. And a while back I used to think that was not possible, but he has been able to do it and still remain fit. Get? So I look up to some people like that. That's just one example of the people I look at. Surround yourself, the content that you're consuming. Look at the content that you consume. You can start by cutting it out, like cutting out the things you don't really need in your system. Some of the things we're subscribed to, some of the content is not really serving us. Is it just pure it's good to have there's a time and place for entertainment, but also, is entertainment all that is on your palate? If that's the case, then you're most likely going to suffer from an overload of non-serviceable content. So look at what you're consuming in terms of up here. The books you're reading, if you're reading any at all, the people you're talking to, the environments you surround yourself in. Because there's a quote that said, environment always trumps will, and it's truth. Your environment here will trump your will in whatever case you're doing. If your environment here is a bit toxic, then I would say start with this first. Start with this because this will affect every other thing going downwards. The same way the mind affects the body also affects the mind. That's why sometimes when you are too wrapped up in your head, it's best to just do. Just do. When you start doing something, anything, even if you start doing chores, it gets you out of your own head, and you come here, you're in the presence of here and now. When you start observing yourself and being aware of your thoughts, you're able to stop those negative narrations in your head, and you're like, no, I'm the one who's in control here. Why is that running? Maybe it's something that someone said and just keeps on running. Instead, run yourself. Go for a run. It might look funny, but it actually works. Go for a run. It actually clears your head. It helps you focus. And this is why I encourage everyone to get into fitness. Because what it does, it brings you into a level of awareness that keeps on getting better the more you keep on doing what you need to do to get where you need to go. And that's the highest form of that is fitness, where fitness brings you into yourself. I usually say fitness is the highest form of self-love, because you're giving yourself time, you're giving yourself attention, you're listening to yourself, and you're choosing to focus. Because obviously, even when you're working out, your mind might go up and about, might just falter. But the beauty about working out, if your mind is not there, you will mess up. You will either mess up the form, or you'll slip, you'll slide. You have to be there. So what happens is you're priming your mind to be present, to be here. You are being intentional. You get? It's a byproduct of getting into fitness. So it's like a double-edged sword. You do this, you get this. You get this, you do this. Like they're feeding into each other. You see? So that's the benefits. These are just some of the benefits I would say that come into fitness. And when you get into fitness, whatever that might look like to you, you can start off small. You can start off with home workouts like I do. Actually, I do just home workouts. I found that those work best for me because my goals align with what I'm doing with my home workouts. So depending on the goals you have, depending on what you want to achieve, I would say just start, because the hardest part is usually pressing play. So just start, and when you start, you learn as you go. Seek out people who have done what you want to do, or people who are getting into the same as you. It can be sort of like helping each other on this journey. The journey is yours individually, yes, but you don't have to do it alone. I didn't do it alone. So yeah, the illusion of separation is what kills most of us, because we think we need to separate this and this and this, whereas this and this are actually intertwined, but we can't see it. So your mental is intertwined with your physical is intertwined with your mental, and all that also intertwined with your spiritual. You get, they're one. If you build one up, the benefits cut across. If you build the other one up, the benefits cut across. So if you build all of them up, the benefits cut across. In short, you'll be like a prime service machine, just serving yourself. And I think that's a really good way to approach life, to being like, I'm choosing what serves me, because we're only given one life, as far as we know. So yeah, I would say just keep on priming yourself. Choose you, and keep on choosing you. Train yourself to be the best version of yourself. And that's what I do on a daily basis. And I hope I've added some value and serviced you as much as I service myself. So when all is said and done, I would just tell you, press play. Start your journey. There's no need to wait, because you never know tomorrow. Start right now. And yeah, if I can be of any service, just tell me in the comments, in the comment sections. And if you want to see me tackle any other thing, or you have some comments, please share. It's good to have a community around you that actually wants to know these topics, these things. So you feel free to communicate with me, and I will link some of the video. I will link a video of one of the Shaun T workouts that you can look at, and maybe I will link also another video to a channel that you can actually look at when it comes to fitness, where this guy has really helped me unlearn and relearn some other things that I thought I knew. Like the mere fact that you can work out even with the little time you have. You don't need to work out for 30, 40 minutes. You can work out even for 15, 10 minutes. So it's all up to you. You decide what you want to get out of this life. So yeah. Plus, if I have done it, I'm still doing it. I'm not to the extent I want to be, and that just keeps me moving even forward. Like that motivates me, because I'm not where I want to be. So I work. So that is all for now. I hope you've enjoyed the session, and ciao. Bye.